Hello, welcome to another Retro Chords Gaming Pickups, and yes, this month there's quite a lot to take a look at. So first of all, let's take a look at this thing which is over here to my side. Yes, you can see it is an absolutely disgusting, filthy Mega Drive box, and that's because I had to buy a new Mega Drive to play Paprium. Yes, I already own 3 Mega Drive consoles and a Mega SG, but none of them would work Paprium. Even after the Mega SG was updated, it still didn't work because apparently there are many variations of the cartridge with different headers in the program, and the one that I have is the Japanese special edition. Wasn't covered in the patch that the Mega SG got, even though I followed all the instructions and all the advice people give online. But thankfully, that Mega Drive, which you've probably already seen if you've seen the Paprium review, works perfectly. And here it is, here is Paprium. So, this is the special edition that I did get. I've already done an unboxing of this. If you haven't seen the video, there's a link in the video description down below. But there it is. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. But I'm not very happy with the actual packaging because, you know, it's kind of flimsy. I mean, it looks nice, but it is kind of flimsy and it's not very practical, is it? So what I did is I went and made my own Paprium box, and this is it. Now, a lot of people have been asking me for the artwork of this Paprium box. So what I'm going to do is put a link in the video description down below to this actual cover, and you can print out your own, you know, version of this cover and, you know, use it as you will. I don't mind. Yeah. Glad to give something back to the community. So yeah, go ahead. Link in the video description down below. All right, so let's start off with the more modern stuff this time. I usually start off with the older stuff, I think, but we're going to start off with the more modern stuff. Okay, this one arrived today. This is Code Vein, or Code Vein? Vein? I don't know. It's a action RPG by, well, would you call it action? Yeah, I'd call it an action RPG by Bandai or Namco. As you can see in the video up there, it's kind of medieval in a way, anime style, and it is quite nice. Now, I played this on Xbox, what's it called? Xbox, not Marketplace. I can't remember what's called, Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass on the Series X, and I liked it, so I went and bought the actual game, and this only came about 2 hours ago, so as you can see, this is not open yet. But I will be opening it and be using this because I've not updated my Game Pass subscription. You know, the thing with Game Pass is you got all these great games, and basically it's Netflix for games. And the price is incredibly cheap, but I found myself not appreciating all the games because, you know, there's just so much choice. You just choose one, play a bit of that, and then move on to the next one. You just do not put in the effort, and I noticed the monster's just gone off there. Never mind. But yeah, it just wasn't entertaining, you know? Maybe for some people out there it's good, but for me, Game Pass just wasn't what I wanted. So anyway, I went and bought the game because I did like it, so that's cool. Sticking with the new stuff, we have this. This is Cotton Reboot on the PlayStation 4. A great remake of the original Cotton. This also includes the X68000 version of Cotton, and I'm pretty sure it's emulated. There does seem to be some shimmering on the scrolling and so on, so if it was actually ported properly, they would have sorted it out, so I think it's kind of emulated. But yeah, that's just an extra bonus. The main event is the Reboot version of Cotton, and it's very nice to see that they've kind of updated the play mechanics as well, so you can get a lot of bonus scores. So it's a good one for score attack fans. I'm not very good at explaining these things, but it's a good and exciting shooter. And this one came from Amazon Japan, and it came with these lovely Cotton stickers as well. So yeah, nice little bonus that I didn't expect. Put them over there. All right. Okay, so on to the retro stuff, which kind of makes sense since this channel has retro core. This is Dracula, or Akumo Dracula The Arcade. In other words, the only arcade version of Castlevania, and this is on the PlayStation 2. And this was released by Hamster, by Hamster, as one of their arcade classic series. and these go for a very high price here in Japan, and I'm not sure why, because the actual quality of the emulation on this, it's not a port, it's an emulated version of the arcade game, is awful. The quality of the emulation is terrible. You've got screen tearing, you've got slowdown, and you've got shimmering. It's really, really bad. I mean, I was kind of shocked, and so shocked in fact that I'm going to sell this because I was expecting a really nice, perfect home port, and well, I got some shoddy emulation. I might as well just play it on MAME. It's a way better on MAME. But on the plus side, in this pack, as you can see, the disc is designed to be like a 100 yen coin, because why not, I guess. You get 2 mini discs, not mini disc, but mini CDs, 3-inch CDs. One of them is a soundtrack CD, which has a couple of remixes of the arcade music on it. And the other is a mini DVD, which has a couple of commercials for the other games in this series, as well as a playthrough and some other bits and bobs. As well as those, you get a couple of other little nice items in here. So we get some little card, which on the back is a collectible trading card, I guess you could call it, of the game that it came with. We have a little flyer, and we also have the instruction manual as well down here, which we can see here. Well, I say instruction manual, it's more like a mini player's guide, so that's kind of nice as well. But to be honest, the emulation is so bad on this. I don't know if you can really tell from the video up there, but the emulation is so bad that it's just not worth bothering with, in all honesty. So yes, that cost me 8,000 yen, and I'm hoping I can sell it for the same price I paid for it, or maybe a little bit more. That would be nice. Alright, on to the real retro stuff. Let's just move over here. Okay, so you remember in the last Game of Pickups, I talked about collecting PlayStation 3D fighters. Well, I've kind of gone a bit nuts and bought a lot more. These are all PlayStation 3D fighters. Alright, so first of all, we've got what is this? Sangoku Musou, okay. And this is made by Koei. Now, before Koei joined Tecmo, they basically just made, you know, simulation war games and education stuff, and basically stuff that wasn't very interesting to the gamer. So to see that they put out a pretty decent one-on-one fighter based upon the ancient history simulations is quite surprising. I mean, it's not the best out there, but it is fairly respectable, so worth getting if you can find it cheap. Okay, next up in the 3D fighting realm is a really, really good one. So I can't even pronounce this in English, so I'm going to read the Japanese title. Etsu. I presume that's how it's pronounced. What's it say in English? Eretsu, yeah, okay, it's very similar. Now this is made by Yuke's, and Yuke's made a name for themselves with wrestling games, as well as a couple of Berserk games as well on the Dreamcast and PlayStation 2. But this is a one-on-one 3D fighter that only uses 1 or 2 buttons, from what I remember. But it's really, really good. The action is fast, the graphics are really pretty, and it's very impressive for a PlayStation. As I'm sure you can see from up there, it is a very impressive looking game. Again, it's not a cheap title, and this one did cost me a pretty penny, but if you can find it, I would seriously recommend picking this one up. It takes a lot of practice to get into. You need to learn how to play the game, but once you do, it's very rewarding, and I'm sure you would love to play this. Very good. Alright, moving on. Next 3D fighter is a stinker. Not like that one. This is, what the hell do you call this thing? It's got no English on it, so I'm going to have to go with the Japanese. Okay, so this is Virtual Hideo no Ken. Okay, Virtual Hideo no Ken. Alright. And this is a 3D version of those god-awful Culture Brain 2D beat-em-ups that are on the Super Famicom. In fact, this whole series is a joke. It is so bad. It is like Ksoge. What do they call it? think they call it Kusoge, basically shitty game territory. It's renowned in Japan for being shitty. And this 3D fighter is, well, it's not the worst 3D fighter in this pile, believe it or not. There's a lot of different play styles in here. There's a lot of different techniques and so on, but it's very confusing to figure out how to play the game. And I haven't figured it out myself, but it does reek of budget. And they sold this for full price, and you know, even now it isn't that cheap, and yeah, I just can't recommend it, to be honest. But anyway, it's part of the 3D fighting games collection. Alright, so moving on. We've got a really good 3D fighting game, but nowhere near as good as the Sega Saturn original. Or I shouldn't say Sega Saturn original, should I? Because the original was the Model 2 arcade game. But nowhere near as good as the Sega Saturn version, but still good. This is Dead or Alive on the PlayStation. I'm sure you all know about Dead or Alive, so that's all I'm saying about that. Back over there you go. And I'm sure you all know about this one as well. This is by Ating or Rising. What are they called? It's written on the back, isn't it? No, it's by Ating. But it's coming under the Hudson Soft brand, so Hudson Soft released it. This is bloodyville, the first in the series. Excellent fighting game. Yeah, basically you play as humans who turn into weird animals and beat the shit out of each other. Good game. Alright. Okay. We're not finished yet. This is Bushido Blade 2. Yes, another 3D fighter, as you can see up there. This one is more of a weapon-based fighter, and it's okay. Not as good as bloodyville 2 in my opinion, or bloodyville 1 I should say. But yeah, it's a decent 3D fighter, and I believe this one did come out in the West. Okay, here we go with a really nice one. This is Fighters Impact from Taito. As you can see up there, this one is one of those 3D fighters that not many people know about, and they should know about it because this is easily up there with the best of the best. You know, this is up there with your Virtua Fighters and your Tekkens. You really need to check this one out if you haven't. It plays more towards the Virtua Fighter style of gameplay than Tekken, but if you're a fan of either of those games, you will really love Fighters Impact. Unfortunately, because this game, I believe, is a Japanese exclusive. I don't think it came out in the West. It is a little bit expensive, especially over here in Japan, but you can still get it for the price of a new modern day game or a little bit less. So not too bad. Check it out if you can. Alright, next up is, you guessed it, another 3D fighter. This one is, oh, this one's got no English on it either. This is Battle Sabers. Oh, it does have English, it's written there. This flipping heck. So this is Battle Sabers, and this is by Bandai, I believe. Yep, Bandai released this. I don't know much about this series, but I believe it is based upon an anime. And again, it's a fairly average 3D fighter, nothing too bad about it. It's colourful, characters are interesting, I guess, if you're into anime. But yeah, an all-round reasonable fighter. Again, as you can see, right up there. And oh, by the way, I should mention, I believe there's two versions of this, or maybe it got re-released, but I've seemed to remember seeing another version of this in a slimmer case. Whether that's improved upon this version or not, I don't know, or maybe it's a completely different game. Okay, next up is not a 3D fighter, although I thought it was a 3D fighter when I saw the screenshots on the Yahoo auctions. This is Ziriam Zone. Based upon the manga and anime. What we have here is a side-scrolling beat-em-up with very, very clunky controls. Basically, it tries to be like a kind of Guardian Heroes type game, where you can fight on different planes, but it doesn't really work that well, and the controls are very stiff and clunky in this one. Once you've completed the side-scrolling sections, you do get to do a one-on-one beat-em-up section, but again, it's a little bit clunky, and you know, it's trying to aim to be something special, but it just fails on so many levels. I mean, judging from the video in the corner there, you may think that this is okay, but believe me, this is a hard pass. So yeah, I spent my money taking a hit so you guys don't have to. Alright, next up is another one I thought was a one-on-one beat-em-up, judging by the screenshots, but it's more of a virtual on game. And this is, what is this called? Mega Tudo. Megatudo 2096, and it completes shit. It really is. It's another one of these budget type games made by a completely unknown studio, and I do appreciate what they've tried to go for here. I mean, they've tried to go for the big virtual on style game, but they've failed so miserably. It's got really bad graphic warping. It slows down like buggery, and it's just bad all around. In fact, it's one of those games that's so bad you play it just to see how bad it gets. But yeah, if you see it going really, really cheap, maybe pick it up. If it's going for more than a couple hundred yen, or whatever your equivalent that is in your currency, don't get it, because it is a waste of cash. I just noticed I'm not showing the insides of these games, am I? But yeah, all the games are in there. And I think this one also has a spine card as well. Hang on, let's have a look. Oh, it does have a spine card. It comes with some leaflet, probably a warning to your health for playing it. But yeah, it's an awful game. Don't get that one. Alright, continuing with the 3D fighters. This is the Solid Style Battle 3D one-on-one fighting construction kit. Oh yeah, you can make your own 3D fighter, or so they have you believe. It is extremely limited. Basically, you can design. Oh, can you even design the characters? I don't think you can. I don't remember. Actually, I don't recall if you can actually design the characters either. But you can design the moves and, you know, place the hitboxes and things like that. And you can choose from it. You can't actually make the moves themselves, but you do get a selection of pre-made moves which you can assign to your own character. It does come with a beat 'em up built in, like a sample 3D fighting game, but to be honest, it's not very good, and as a 3D fighting construction kit goes, it's very lame. It's very limited indeed. It is a little bit difficult to use if you don't understand Japanese, so you may have to check out a player's guide on the internet for that, but yeah, probably give this a pass. And unfortunately mine didn't even come with a manual, but it did have the spine card, so I suppose that's a bonus, I guess. Alright, so over there it goes. And onto, oh, good old Jellicoe. You can always rely on Jellicoe to provide the shit. I'm saying shit a lot in this episode, aren't I? Yes, this is Slam Dragon. This is a joke. The video up there is very small. It's very difficult to tell, but this is a 3D fighting game that uses 2D sprites that have the worst compression artifacts on them ever. I mean, I play this through composite video, and it looks like I'm playing a component. No, what am I saying? I've got it all wrong. I'm playing this through component video using the D terminal on my PlayStation 2, and it looks like I'm playing a super low resolution, highly compressed JPEG game, if such a thing existed, through composite video. It really looks that bad. I don't know why they did this. Basically, we've got really nasty 2D sprites on pretty janky 3D backgrounds, and it plays like crap. It is really bad. So yeah, that is Saint Dragon by Jellicoe. Get it if you want to laugh, get it if you want to really make fun of your PlayStation, but don't get it if you want to play a game. It's awful, like a lot of Jellicoe's output. You can always rely on Jellicoe and to give you something pretty nasty. Alright, what is this one? This one is Right, and this is martial arts beat 'em up. Pretty interesting, I guess. It's, you know, it's not a fast-paced one-on-one 3D fighter like most of the others which you've seen. This is more of a thinking man's 3D fighting game. Not bad, but could be better. I mean, it does lack in the audio department, and there are a few little bits of amateurish graphic design and gameplay design in there. But overall, not too bad. If you can get it cheap, pick it up. Okay, and finally, another PlayStation game that is not a 3D fighter. This is Dragon Valor. Yes, that's it. This is a 3D action RPG, I guess you can call it. 3D action RPG game from Namco, and it comes on 2 discs. So as you can see here, if you can get the other disc out. So yeah, the 2-disc game, and it is a fairly reasonable action adventure game. I call it action adventure, not RPG. So basically, you make your way through the lands, beating up all the enemies, whatever. You know, have a bit of a story section, pick up 1 or 2 options, upgrade your weapons, get hit points, things like that. It is quite a nice little adventure game, and surprisingly, it is quite cheap, even though it is one of the later PlayStation games to be released. So yeah, I would recommend this. So if you haven't got a copy yourself and you see it going for the reasonable price, grab one. Alright. There were 1 or 2 other things which were picked up over the course between this video and last video, such as the Satiator, or Saturnator as I kept calling it, which is a Sega Saturn SD card reader, an optical disk drive emulator, which is really cool. I do like that one. And 1 or 2 other bits and bobs, not really game related. But you guys have been buying a lot of games, so we're going to take a look at those right now. But remember, if you want to send your gaming pickups for the next video, send them to the address right down here, and I'll add them to the end of the next gaming pickups video, which is coming in about a month's time. So make sure you get your gaming pictures to me in time. Okay, so until then guys, keep on gaming and enjoy your games. See ya!